What is good, guys, and happy Friday here. So we are going back to locals, and if you guys don't know, I've not been to locals for like, God Lord, 3 to 4 months. You know, just life, work, COVID, just everything you name on it has been keeping me from going to locals. And with that being said, if you guys don't know, I'm in the medical field and stuff like that. However, not going to locals doesn't mean I can't do remote dueling and stuff like that. And I'm a huge advocate for remote dueling, despite the cheating and stuff that happens on there. It allows me to play from the comfort of my home, play remote locals and stuff. So I've got to do a lot of testing with fans, viewers, and online locals such as Grandmaster Games and stuff. But anyway, today we're going back to locals, and the formats have been kind of anime. Even this new Sprite Tournament format, like the most, like nothing really piques my interest. Even currently right now, I'm in a toss up between 3 decks, and I'll tell you those 3 decks right now. It's Morphonic, Galaxy Eyes, and Bee Troopers. Like those are 3 decks. Like I'm struggling to pick up. I'm only gonna pick up one to start out with, and I don't know which one to do. So you guys in the comment section down below, comment what you want to see. I know Photon Galaxy just got released new support. I know we got some Bee Trooper fans out there, and I know the Morphtronic deck is actually low-key, like if you don't play the FTK, it is like a very high ceiling combo deck that I kind of took interest in because of its boards that it's able to put up. But anyway, you guys comment down below what you'd like to see, and we'll see if that gets us there. But if you guys also don't know, today we are going to live stream this local event. And if you guys have not been following me on Twitch yet, you should do so at twitch.tv/team_COG. And give me a follow. We're on the road to affiliate. I think you have to stream like 7 days, I think. And this is my 5th or 6th day streaming. So we are just so close to getting there. And yeah, just come over, hang out. It's a good time. We're just gonna have the camera on me. Gonna watch me get clapped on my own stream, which is, you know, curse of the camera, right? But other than that, I plan to take Necroz. And I will actually fan out and show you guys the deck list that I'm playing right now behind me. Like really quick, it's no different from the profile and stuff like that. But just to kind of do you like that type of stuff. I like live stuff. I like showing people like have the cards in hand, because sometimes you think about stuff, like especially if you're holding a card, you think about it versus putting up like a DB or like Omega, something Master Duel profile or anything like that up here. I'll just show you guys over here. Now with that being said, guys, finally, if you guys want to help support the channel before we get into that deck profile, you guys can do so by multiple ways. I already told you 1, go to Twitch. 2, you can become a member down below. 3, you can use the TCG Player affiliate link. And 4th, guys, we have a lot of change coming to the channel, so stay tuned. There'll be more ways you can support the channel and get something awesome back. So we do have some cool things coming, hopefully within the next 2 weeks or so. But for the 4th way you can support the channel, you can do so by heading down to Imperium Duelist down below, a sponsor of the channel. I have enjoyed their products for years. Their new formula for their Pegasus sleeves, that is like player's choice, and it is remarkable. I mean, yeah, they still suffer from the same thing player's choice suffered from like one tournament and then they're done. But for that one tournament, guys, you have the best sleeves in the room. And also they make awesome hats. A new hat here. You can use my code TEAMCOG10 to get 10% off your order down below. So head on over there and support the channel. And let's just go ahead and jump right over here into the profile. Okay, guys, so I know that I literally just said that I prefer to do the live profiles instead of doing everything over DB and stuff like that. So instead, I lied. I'm crunched with some time here, so I'm going to go ahead and do it this way so that we can go ahead and just breeze through it and everything. So we're on Dueling Omega, probably my favorite dueling simulator out there, to be honest with you. So with that being said, guys, we are playing 3 Zaborg. Like I said before, I would probably prefer this to be 2 Ben 10 and a Vanity Ruler, simply because like it's more consistent. Zaborg is the better normal summon by far because it just blows out literally everything when it's summoned, and it gives you so much resource. The problem is there's no way to get to without doing Small World lines, and this is a ritual deck, right? So we need to keep our pluses. We don't need to go minus, and that's exactly what Small World does, is allows us to go minus, right? So this is the normal summon we're playing for the day because I didn't get my other stuff in the mail. It's still a good normal summon. If it was searchable, it would be the go-to normal summon for the deck, but sadly it's not. And I've been testing Ben 10 and Vanity Ruler a lot more, and I like it. It's more powerful, or consistency over power is what I'm going for. Moving here, we got the 2 Talismandria, the 1 Bookstone, the 2 Candle, and then right here's Pencil Plume. So incantations, they're insane. They're literally 1 card full ritual summons practically, and they work so well with the Necroz strategy. We got 1 Shuret. Not much more can be said. It counts as the full tribute for any Necroz monster you use, and lets you search out a warrior, so you're able to grab Trish or Reed Bear, Clauseless, whatever you need. Triple Ash Blossom. So like I said, I don't know yet if this is the right call. Probably going to more board breakers is the correct play to probably do. But this is what I got right now, and I don't know. I might yet change it before the locals come in. I might go put in the 4 Gamma, or the 3 Gamma 1 Driver and the 3 Dark Ruler. I don't know yet, but we'll have to see. And then we have the Wonder Reed Bear, the man, the myth, my favorite card in the deck, Trish, Valk, for our one of big Necroz monsters. And not much more can be said about these guys, I believe. Valk is actually, I think, more important in the Vanity Ruler side of thing, because like if they happen to Dark Rule you or something like that, and their main way to out your board is go to battle, Valk is just a great follow-up. And it gets a draw 2, which is really nice. In some instances, in some lines, you can get a draw 2, which draws you into more stuff. Chalice Slime right here, the best incantation card. This card is nuts. I don't care what anyone says. The 3 Brio for consistency, the 3 Unicorn for consistency, and the add back, which is cool. 2 Clauselus, all you need is 2. The 3 Extra, which I think is more important and less hurtful in the Ben 10 package versus this package. Because you still can Zaborg if you Pot of Extravagance, you just have nothing left, which I guess like neither do they, right? So it makes sense. So this right here, you could potentially cut this, but I feel like Necroz or this deck needs that +1. We don't need to break even like with Prosperity. We need the +1 for sure. 3 Prep for consistency. 2 Tactics to also counter hand traps. Tactics, I believe, is the mainstay in the deck, just personally. And then we have the 1 Inception, which is insane in conjunction with the Chalice Slime. If you guys have not checked out my combo video, which I believe is coming out today, which is Friday. So it'll be Friday your time, which is coming out, yeah, coming out today in the time of recording this video. I do check it out. It shows you some, like a 2-card combo that's actually really crazy. And then 2 Cycle, 2 Kaleido, 1 Mirror. This is, I think, a good ratio here. You could potentially maybe go 2-2-2 if you wanted to, but I have found myself not running out ritual spells yet, so it's pretty good. And then 3 Imperm. Yeah, so my extra deck is definitely not the same as like my other deck. However, I'll just explain that. This is what I want it to look like eventually, so like you guys can get. I want to have 3 Garuda. If you're playing this package right here, you don't really need to play 3 of this guy. Well, technically, yeah, you can because of Extravagance. So, like, this card just lets you draw a card. Simple. Intis to pop, Leo for 12, Omega for an 8. And this right here was probably, I believe, in here just to be able to dump off the Zaborg. 3/7, so you can... They're just Kaleido targets is really all this is. Now to my side deck. I am playing the 3 Judgments just so you don't get blown out to Dark Ruler. You have minimal interactions as it is, in the form of like your inboard is just like Floodgate-esque monsters, maybe with a Reed Bear to back it up. So you need something to stop those blowout cards. Same with Red Reboot going second. These right here are just major blowout cards, the Cyclones and the Feather Duster. A Droll is in here because I cannot think of a more higher impact hand trap than Droll currently. DD Crow should probably actually take that back. DD Crow, this should definitely be DD Crow. Then 3 and 1 Pranker Tops. And then 3 Nibs. Nobody respects a Nib, so you just kind of blindside them with the Nib. You could potentially do Raw Spear mode, but I feel like sometimes, like, you're not going to... I don't want to have the Raw Spear mode, and then, like, you know, like, they don't have 3 monsters of tribute, so... But anyway, guys, that is it for the list I'm taking. So we're just going to jump into some B-roll, and we will catch you guys at Locals. This is Charles, seeing you in the next clip. Okay, guys, so here we go after Locals. So to break down my Locals for you guys, I ended up playing a round 1 6 Samurai, round 2 Flunder, round 3 was this Orcus Punk deck that I'm going to show you guys on screen, and round 4 was Exorcister, which we ended up getting a draw there because of the time rules. Huge spoiler here, I get screwed in the time rules here. And the deck does actually do kind of what I thought I would do, right? Against an extra deck strategy that's not Flunder, Monarch, or Drake or something like that, the deck really does good. And the deck has a lot of grind to it, which is really insane. But anyway, guys, I'm going to show you guys here these like game ones and talk to you guys about like my thought process and stuff like that. This was probably the best match of the night, and it utilizes showing you like the blowout cards and showing you just how good the deck really is. But we're just going to go through game 1 here. I do apologize. This was all on the stream too, and then my iPad ended up dying. And I will have the Orcus deck here. This right here will be uploaded on Wednesday. But anyway, as you guys can see here, sorry for the glare. On my side, it was perfect, but on his side, so he's doing the punk shenanigans. So I'm kind of like, ooh, what is this? Just to kind of fly by here. So he ends up milling 5 off a ruler, and you just see that there's a virus down there, which he talks about in his profile. I think he ended up hitting an Orcus too. It's just The bad thing about like some of these shops, right, is it's really hard to get a very good angle, right? A very good angle. So he's just, he goes to Hulk to summon out Falco. That's what this is right here. Banish 2 to summon out the Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler and Falco. Falco's a tuner. Didn't know that, right, chat? And goes right into Baron. Phenomenal. Like that. That's so cool. And we still haven't even got to like Orcus lines yet. And I'm almost certain there's an Orcus in there. But I do believe, let's see, we'll try and fast forward it here. He's going to reveal this card, pitch a card. He mills 3. So there, he hits Orcus Babel there. And this deck, like, the tier stuff just starts to flow, man. So we're going to bring this out here. Right here's Wenda. And I don't think he does anything with this. I think that's one of the, I can't think of their names and it doesn't help. So he ends up setting 2 and passing. So to start the turn, I end up going Pot of Extravagance, which this is why I like Pot. Pot is just such a good, like, it sucks you have to activate it, like, first thing you do. But, we go ahead and banish 6. And in this first 6 man, I banish all 3 Heralds, right? So I see if I can resolve Herald. He lets resolve the Pot of Extravagance. He negates it, so then I attempt to just Dark Ruler. And then I Tactics and see, I already negated, right? So I'm getting the draw 2 no matter what. So right now, here, my thought process is I got to break this board, right? So I go ahead and fire off Kaleidoscope. I do, like I almost swear. And see, nobody knew what these cards did, so I had to keep reading to him and tell him and stuff like that. And it's so much easier just to tell them what it does versus reading it card for card and stuff like that. But you want to make sure you get the right effects, so you read it word for word. But anyway, Kaleidoscope, into this effect to go ahead and pop the set card, which is E-Telly. Now Unicorn is live, and that's really what I wanted to do. So now that Unicorn is established, even though everything's already negated, if I do not out this board by whatever, like maybe he has the set card, hand traps, etc., I will be able to shut everything off during his turn. So I end up going Pencil Plume, revealing Pencil Plume, summon out Talismandria. Talismandria will grab me a Ritual Monster, and I believe I go for Trish. I think I have a Trish line here to Trish him. In fact, like the entire tempo of the game is about to change, as you guys will see here. He's just asking here. Let's see if we can skip past this. He's asking to read these cards. So he goes ahead and he attempts to fusion summon again into Dragos Stapelia, which right here is just an awful glare, but that's Dragos Stapelia, which is negated because of Unicorn. So we end up pitching Brio to add, I believe. So I actually make a miss up here. I mean to add Clauselus, but I catch it. Don't worry, guys. I do catch it. I'm looking. I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on here? Now it's like, huh. And I show him. I'm like, oh, yo, I skipped a step here. So we go to add Clauselus, pitch Clauselus to go ahead and add the mirror. My man Jason, pretty cool about it. And then I believe I fire off Mirror. Yeah, so I fire off Mirror using Shirt as the full tribute to bring back Brio. And then Shirt lets me grab, I think Shirt lets me grab Trish. Yeah, and I grab Trish here. Do I Trish him this turn? I can't remember. But I use Brio to spin back the 2 cards. And then no, we just go into battle phase. And see, now hindsight looking at it here, now knowing about the matchup and seeing stuff, he had 1 card in hand too. Like this will show you like the pure, like the power of Orcus in the sense. So he goes Orchestrated Return, pitching this. He draws into 2, right? So here's the thing that gets me the most is, see, I see it's something over 23 and otherwise the game's in my control, right? The tempo of the game is switched. Unicorn shutting him out. I've broken this board. I've broken this board so beautifully. But this is something I'm starting to learn about, like tier millets. Any type of tier strategy, right, it's going to be kind of jacked in a way. But he's going to just start out with normal summoning Girsu. And Girsu might not seem like it does a lot at first, but by sending the Orchestrated Nightmare, he's going to be able to pump Girsu way up there to like 25 or 26. And we'll just fight through here. So he ends up out, he pumps Girsu up, attacks over Unicorn, gives me a token, makes a token. And as you guys can see here, he makes Galatea. He ends up, I think, sending, yeah, so he sends the Brio with a Ding. And we're now looking here at Galatea with a set. Well, one second, we skipped it here. With a set Orchestrated Return right here. So I'm just telling him like what he knows is in my hand and stuff like that. So I fire off the prep, and if the prep resolved, I won. There was no debate on it. I had to put him on wanting to negate the prep. Prep would have just won me the game. So he is forced to respond with it here, which is very unfortunate. I really don't have much of anything else, though, sadly. So I just am hoping that the 2 incantations and the token he gave me is enough to wall up and hold for turn. And sadly, as you guys will see here, as he goes into his turn, he starts going kind of crazy. Summons out Dragon Stapelia, I believe that's what this card is. Or no, this is the Tearmulent Fusion, I believe. The stupid Glare, man. Brings out another, I think he banished, orchestrated that. He bring out Symbol Skeleton in attack mode. And he has a normal summon still. So he's going to normal summon, I believe. If you guys also check out, he's using the Imperium Matte and Imperium Extra Deck sleeves, which is beautiful. I really like these. These sleeves look so much better in person. I'm not gonna lie. So we go into game 2 because he just has enough for game. So game 2 here, I get to go first. And now after seeing how bad his deck really struggled, I know the game plan. I was like, we're gonna go primitive Necroz lines. We're gonna go YuGiOh into Unicorn, and then we're gonna end up grabbing Valk and just Valking and keeping Unicorn alive until we can amass enough like damage, right? Unicorn effect, yeah. Kaleidoscope, summon Unicorn. Not going to do much of anything, but Herald is going to grab me. I believe. I do go for Valk here. Yep, so I grab Valk. And actually, when I played against the Flunder matchup, if you guys saw that on stream, actually I go for Chalice Slime to get a little bit extra here. I end up pitching Chalice Slime, which is a misplay, to summon out Talismandria. Talismandria then grabs me Valk. And just another body is what I was going for. But what I was getting at when I played against Flunder, actually, he's going to chain the one that allows him to fusion, right? So he does make a joke here, which I do believe I had a line to do this. I could have potentially Trished him turn 1. I think I had enough cards in my hand to where, like, if he would have done this a moment sooner, I could have Trished him. But by him waiting to this moment, I already added Valk, and I needed to add Trish, I think, instead of Valk. But anyway, again, so Flunder matchup. I ended up finding out that no brainer, right? Unicorn and the Rebear don't do any. This entire deck is just hard countered by it. So I ended up, when I went against the Flunder matchup, I ended up using Valk to tribute as many cards as I could to draw into side deck cards, and I still didn't draw into side deck cards. It do be Yu-Gi-Oh like that though. So he ends up making Dragon Stapelia. I'm gonna go ahead and Tactics because you know what? Yeah. So I believe I have like one Imperm and one Ash in hand too, which I sided in game 2 because at the last moment I did decide to take out Ash for Dark Ruler, and Dark Ruler came in a really clutch. So I end up just drawing into another Imperm and something not too good. So I'm like, wow, Unicorn plus 2 Imperm and Ash, like good luck, bud. But he opens Harpies. And then I attempt to Imperm the Dragon Stapelia, but I was like, oh wait, I can't because since its effects are already negated, Imperm cannot negate the effects. And so we just lose both those Imperms there to Saki one of Harpy's Feather Duster. See, this is the one thing I love about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all this. The one thing I hate about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the losing to Saki one-ofs. And they're just some cards that are just that powerful, right? Like, you can't help it. You can't do anything much. You really can't do anything about it. Then if it doesn't come down to skill, it then comes down to luck. And then just sometimes some guys are just more lucky than you, right? But anyway, he's trying to play through Unicorn now. And I have Valk in hand. And I believe I'm going to be able to just Valk loop here. He goes ahead and use, I think that's Deer Note, right? I'm not too fluent with my punk cards, so sadly I can't, like, tell you guys fluently what they do. But I know one lets you discard a card and go. So he's just trying to think of what he can do here. He ends up making the Chaos Ruler. He ends up taking Chaos Ruler and Xiamen, and I believe he goes into Baron, I believe. I think it is Baron. No, it's Chaos Ruler, excuse me. It's that, not Chaos Ruler, it's that new Psychic card that would be unaffected if Unicorn wasn't already out on the field. So, we're just explaining that to him. He attempts to battle. I end up Valking, and then I just kind of have enough gas here to, I'm going to be able to blow him out of the water this turn. Like, my hand was so jacked. Like, it's not even fun. Like, jacked YuGiOh would be proud of my hand. So I was going to be able to YuGiOh, shuffle, and get a Reed Bear out, and that's 33, 23, 23. That'd be game. So he's like, let's just go into the next one. That's what he's like, let's wrap it up. And we go on. And I'm just explaining to him, like, the lines and stuff like that. I was like, I was going to be able to do this. Worst case, I could loop Valk multiple times to protect Unicorn. But game 3, he gets to go first, and we are getting close to time. And if you guys don't know, I actually despise the time rules a lot. I actually lost the time to more time, like this tournament, twice. I lost to time in this round, I believe, and I tied in time in my 4th round, which shouldn't have been it. If you guys just saw the stream, I was like, I was sitting there, I was repping up to Trish and a Reed Bear and all this stuff, and time got called, and he had higher life. And the worst part about it is, I could have Valked and prevented it, but misplays happen, right? So anyway, he's just going the whole shebang here, going into Hulk, doing the full combo that I think his Orcus deck does, ending on Baron, Hulk, and I believe he's going to fuse into Winda. So I got to play this correctly. And I'll tell you guys, like, another thing that came up that gave us a little bit of 30 seconds is Incantations versus Winda. So I was like, I'm pretty sure it counts as, you know, oh, and oh, right here, he flips a D barrier. So if you guys don't know what the strategy in Necroz, when you get D-Barrier flipped on you, it is you're trying to wall up as much as you can and get as many resources as you can for that turn 3. So, like, you're typically trying to build a wall and then have Val, pretty much, you know, and then... So, D-Barrier, kind of rough, you know, what can I say? When you're playing an all-one strategy like that, you're bound to, you know, it's going to happen. Sadly. It's really sad that it does. But, anyway, I'm just trying to mount resources here, and this is where the question right here pops up with the Incantations, but it's all one summon, so you do get both under Winda, is at least what the judge at our locals ruled. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward here. Bam. So we get both of them here, and then I messed up, kinda. I have Dark Ruler in my hand. So he knows, because I've already talked to my man Jason. He's like, so what's the plan now? And I was like, straight up build a wall. I was like, I gotta get enough force here. So I attempt the Dark Ruler. He flips Crescendo. I'm like, sweet, I have another Dark Ruler. And then I'm allowed to special summon more bodies. And that's essentially what that was doing, was I was just trying to special summon more bodies to be able to wall up, you know? So I end up summoning out the Candle. Candle's going to grab me a ritual spell, which is this right here, this line. Let me pause this real quick. This right here sets me up so well by grabbing the ritual spell, the Inception, because now that turn I'm going to be able to go Chow Slime with Inception and then just do the whole Chow Slime stuff. It's going to amass me so much resources that I'm going to be able to, like, push through almost anything he has the next turn, as long as he does not get another D barrier. So I'm forced to just kind of pass it over to him. He's looking to see what he can do here. You know, he's a good player. He's trying not to, like, just win in time. So we're just going to skip forward here. He's going to try to amount a lot of damage. And as you can see, I'm trying to rush myself. So, like, this is already at, like, two times speed, so I'm already trying myself. I grab Brio. I try to pitch for Brio. Brio shuts off everything, but sadly I'm just not able, the time's not there, so we do time in the round and it's over. I'm very unfortunate to lose in time in the round because I had enough, like, I just had enough to, at least in the situation of time, to push for enough clapback damage to be able to be in higher life points, but it is what it is. Am I right, chat? So there we go. Other than that, guys, the tournament was fun. Really fun going back to locals. I'm sorry this isn't really like a more in-depth video. I'm really bad at, like, recording vlog-like videos because I get so wrapped up with being with friends, gameplay, and stuff like that. Like, my mind just gets in the game, so it's really hard for me to do that. But anyway, Flunder needs to go. That's all I gotta say. I hate to say it because I was pro Flunder, like, last format when I kept seeing Flunder players get their, like, normal summon in permanent Veiler and they just scooped, you know? So now after playing against the deck and just seeing everything it does so well. It's a very well-molded deck that does everything so well that I think something has to go in that deck. I just think that... Is it something directly in Flunder that has to go? I don't know. I would say no. I'd say all the Flunder cards are pretty much fair. It's all the extra stuff that they can play. And then it's up to Konami if they decide to hit it or not. But after this Locals, one thing I have found out is next time I go to Locals, I am bringing my bird hunting license and my bird dog, and we are going to try to bird hunt because that deck is insane. We had 3 of them at our Locals, 3 of them, and you know, like, against every other deck I played where I played against an extra deck strategy, I've won. I'm practically won. Even in this right here, as you guys can see here, in this game, if time wasn't called, I was going to win. In the Extra Sister game, if time wasn't called, I was ramping up for damage to win. So literally, I would have ended up being 3-1 at this Locals if I didn't just lose in time, which is unfortunate, and I'm not really making excuses, but you have grindy decks and stuff that take a lot of time, and, like, Necroz is by no means, like, an easy deck, right? Like, you have so much thought process to go into it, and, you know, partially that's my fault too. I bet you there's probably times where I sat there and thought for 2 minutes or so or something like that, and that's an extra minute I could have had on the clock, right? But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Again, the Orcas profile will be up on Wednesday, so hopefully you guys can check it out there. And without further ado, I think we're just going to go ahead and end the video here. So you guys stay safe and stay healthy, and happy crusading.